It is a huge show today, and I cannot wait. That is Dave Helman, NFL insider. That is Joy Taylor, the one and only. This is Eagles' all-time rushing leader.
Vacation Acho. Welcome back.
Too live, Shady McCoy. I called off the dogs on you for today, but only today. Now look, America, overnight, the Eagles, they went from predator to prey, but they might need to pray because the 49ers got themselves a Christian. But his last name's McCaffrey. Okay, I'm done. I was watching too much battle rap this morning. I was watching too much. But in all seriousness, the 49ers have quickly become the most dangerous team in the NFC. Christian McCaffrey, a first-team All-Pro at running back. But not only that, the Niners have a first-team All-Pro literally at every position offensively. Wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, first-team All-Pro. Tight end, George Kittle, first-team All-Pro. Offensive line, left tackle, Trent Williams, first-team All-Pro. And to add all that together, you have the best mad scientist offensively in Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan got Matt Ryan an MVP. Matt Ryan ain't had an MVP vote outside of when Kyle Shanahan was his offensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan has Jimmy Garoppolo behind only Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady for playoff wins since 2019. Do you all understand this? The 49ers, the only team in football since 2019 with a first-team All-Pro at running back, receiver, tight end, and offensive line. And best of all, they have this man to put it all together. They are the most dangerous team in the NFC. They are not better than the Eagles because of health, but they are more dangerous. Let me come take my seat. You heard I got some bars.
Yeah, I got some bars.
Couple bars.
Battle raps?
Battle rap.
Yeah.
Have four for you, big dog. Shady, are the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey more dangerous than the Eagles?
Absolutely not. I love CMC, but hold on. Let's slow down a little bit. When we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, first of all, they have a better quarterback. They have a lot better quarterback, right? It's like a big margin, okay? Jalen Hurts, MVP type of talent.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And then even up front, the guys in San Fran, they're banged up.
Yes, sir.
Now, when they're together, they are a beast. And Kyle Shanahan with that offense, especially the guys up front, they get that running game going. But they're not all there. They're all banged up. And Philadelphia, we are together up front. So I think at the wide receiver position, we have two number ones, right? Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are two number ones. Any given team, they go there and ball out. So I wouldn't say they're more dangerous. I do think that he helps them out, but come on now, don't disrespect the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, Joy Taylor.
Undefeated Philadelphia Eagles.
Where you at? Are the Niners more dangerous than them Eagles?
No. Jimmy's still throwing to him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one. Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. But more importantly, is this healthy Christian McCaffrey? Because Christian McCaffrey has played in 10 of 33 games from 2020 to 2021. He misses a lot of time. So if he's healthy, sure. But my first thought when I heard this news was like, wow, that's a big trade. They gave up a lot of picks. How much time is he going to play? And he's going to a team that always has injuries. Doesn't it always feel like San Francisco, you have to say what you just said, when they're healthy, when they got everybody,
That's true.
when everybody's out there. I'm not making this up. Since 2017, they have the most player games missed. 1,361. They stay injured. And this is an injury-prone player. So, yeah, we love Christian McCaffrey. When he's available, he is electric. But is he going to play? How much is he going to play? And Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing to him when he does play. So the answer to all that, I'm sorry, that's a little doom and gloom, San Francisco, is that the Eagles are still in a better position.
San Fran, let me bring the sun out for you then. Let me bring the sun out.
Somebody got to.
Christian McCaffrey, when he's healthy, he's a beast. He's been healthy every game this year, fourth in scrimmage yards thus far. Christian McCaffrey, he is capable of a 1,000-yard rushing season and a 1,000-yard receiving season. It's only happened 3 times in the history of football. 3 times in the history, and Christian McCaffrey did it just 3 years ago. A total and complete and absolute beast. Now, Dave Helman, before I come to you, I'm going to set this up.
I'm excited.
When I was thinking about the Eagles, which are 6-0 in the San Francisco 49ers, there is only one position group where I can say the Eagles are unequivocally better, obviously assuming health. Cornerback. That is the only position quarterback you could say as well. But come the playoffs, I can't speak to Jalen Hurts.
So corner and quarterback.
Yes, sir. But come the playoffs, I cannot nor will I speak to Jalen Hurts as a playoff quarterback. And we know playoffs, as Joy, Shady, myself, and Dave will all tell you, that's where it matters. In the playoffs, only 2 people have more playoff wins than Jimmy Garoppolo. That is Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is 0 for 1 right now. Dave, I'm coming to you to say this. Only cornerback are the Eagles unequivocally better. At running back, Niners. At wide receiver, I would say toss-up. Many could argue Niners. At tight end, Niners. At offensive line, if Trent Williams is out there, I'm not picking against him. Nick Bosa, best pass rusher in the National Football League. I get it. We all love Micah Parsons. Nick Bosa has the second most sacks in football, and he's missed a game. At linebacker, Niners. So it is much closer than anybody would want to make you think, but I'm going to make you think. Are the Niners the most dangerous team in the NFC?
No.
Okay.
I mean, look, Shady, I can be nice. Like, it's the Eagles. It's the Eagles right now. And the thing, I think the lines illustrate this perfectly with what you just said. Nick Bosa, Trent Williams. You look at the Eagles and Niners lines, offensive and defensive, those are probably the two best players, right? What about the other 8? What about the other 4 guys on the line on offense? What about the other guys, 7 guys that rotate in on defense? Because I know the Eagles have Hargrave, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox,
the big dog,
Brandon Graham,
Jordan
Davis, Lane Johnson's over at right tackle. Mike McGlinchey's all right. Probably hasn't lived up to what you thought where they drafted him in the first round. Alex Mack retired from center, guy that was with Kyle Shanahan forever. Joe Staley's not on that line. Jason Kelsey's still there. Jordan Mailata is nice. He's been a little banged up. Like, let's just, 1 to 5 on offense and I say 8. I think you need 8 good defensive linemen in the NFL. 1 to 5 and 1 to 8. Eagles are better, even if the Niners have the top 2. That's how I feel.
Even wide receiver? You said that.
Yeah, notice Acho said toss-up. He was like, the only place the Eagles are better is cornerback. Well, then he called it a toss-up.
Wide receiver. Debo Samuel gave you 1,500 yards last year.
Debo, all right.
Brandon Ayuk gave you 830 yards last year as a number 2. Devontae Smith gave you 900 yards as a number 1.
As a rookie.
As a rookie, yes, sir. Brandon Ayuk as a sophomore, Devontae Smith as a rookie. So I think...
But I'm talking about right now, though.
Here, right now, I would truly say toss-up. I think we all know Debo, if you have to draft 1 through 4, Debo's 1. Then A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith,
But
Ayuk.
the difference is, like, so Debo, how much better is he than A.J. Brown, if he is better? Let's just say he's better. He had better numbers, had a great year. So how much better is he than A.J. Brown?
I think at least the notch. Where you at, Joy?
Well, when I'm measuring these things, if he's, to your point, that much better, then that can make up for them having the next 2 best players and then Ayuk. But if there's not that much of a gap, then I would go with the Eagles receiver. Because Debo is the best, but by how much? Because then you have more of the talent in the middle. Like, to me, that's what separates it. Aside from the injuries, which are a very real thing, you have to talk about that. They are always losing guys. They've had guys out. They still have guys. They're still not complete. That matters. Like, you can have a great roster. If they're not on the field, it doesn't matter. They're on the roster. It doesn't affect the wins and losses. It doesn't affect how far you're going to go in the playoffs. And as we know, as much as Jimmy Garoppolo has done a lot of winning, and I'm not going to take that away from him, I think a lot of us would say that roster has played a huge role in Jimmy Garoppolo's success in the postseason.
I don't think he has a passing touchdown in the playoffs.
He definitely does.
Not very many.
That's the year we played him in the championship. Well, hold on real quick. So,
yes, sir.
This is the wide receiver. So, Devontae Smith.
And Brandon Ayuk, to me, they're relatively equal based on production.
Ayuk's a good player.
I'm just saying, when you put the tape on and the eye test, I think he's better, but okay.
I'm not mad at you.
I might be biased.
You might be, but here's the other thing we have to address. Let's address this. Joy, you and I were both at this network on our respective shows when the Eagles hired Nick Sirianni. Yes. We were both out. Full transparency, I was out, Joy was out, everybody and their mama, for the most part, was out. He stumbled over an interview, and we were like, yo, if you can't get through a presser, how are you going to lead a team of grown men in Philadelphia? But Nick Sirianni has shown us a ton. However, Kyle Shanahan, 2016, offensive coordinator, Super Bowl with the Falcons. Clearly, they blew the lead. We get it. They got there. Since then, the Falcons have 1 playoff win. Since 2016, Kyle Shanahan departure. Kyle Shanahan in San Fran, he knows how to utilize each and every one of his pieces for greatness. Trent Williams, a Hall of Famer, lining up at fullback. Debo Samuel, wide receiver, running back. Imagine what he can do with Christian McCaffrey. Dave, if healthy, because that is what we have to assume. Trent Williams, Nick Bosa coming back this week. Jimmy Ward will be coming back in a few weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Jimmy Ward coming back this week as well. If healthy, come December, how dangerous are those 49ers? Because to me, they are more dangerous because they're just as talented. Where you stand?
If you can guarantee me good health, then I'm right there with you. Because I don't like to make light of injuries because that's out of a player's control more often than not. But the irony is palpable of one of the best but most injured running backs in the league joining a team full of other stars that have a hard time staying healthy. If you promise me it can happen, I mean, if you promise me all of those guys are available, there are not many teams that I'm taking to beat San Francisco, particularly the NFC. Don't worry about the AFC later. But in the NFC, if all those guys are healthy, I put San Francisco and Philly right up there as two of the 3 best teams in the conference.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
When this trade went through, I was excited for him, for C-Mac, because I think when you have a guy like Kyle Shanahan that could draw things up, he's like Andy Reid. He knows how to run the ball. That's his thing. So I take you back. When we got Darren Sproles was my last year in Philadelphia, I was like, why we need him for? I was first in rushing last year, but the thing I didn't know was I could be more productive with less. So we would have different packages in the game where I would be on the left side and Sproles be in the back on the right side, and they would mix up different plays where I might be like a decoy for him or vice versa, and it was so effective. So I'm like, dang, when I seen the trade, I'm thinking like, wow, this offense is going to be dangerous, because now not only can you just watch Debo and all the amazing plays he did last year with the sweeps and all that and et cetera, but now you got McCaffrey who can run the ball and can catch the ball. So they will make some noise. I'm not sure they'll do like the Philadelphia Eagle type of noise in the playoffs, but they'll have a nice shake.
Here's what's fascinating. Before the Niners acquired CMC, I said after week 3, they're the most dangerous team in ball. Again, I'm infatuated with the Niners. To me, Nick Bosa, one of the best defensive players. He's a 20-sack guy. And Deebo Samuel, he's just a freak. I'm infatuated with the 49ers. You bring up a great point with Darren Sproles. What people forget, Eagles, Saints, 2013 playoffs. You would have no idea about this, but I'm going to tell you.
Eagles, Saints, 2013.
But you were there.
Yeah.
But you're just
we lost.
Yes, you're not going to remember why we lost. Kick return. We kick it off to the Saints. Who was the Saints' kick returner?
Darren Sproles.
It was Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles takes the kick return to the 40-yard line. They get in field goal range. They beat us. I believe it's a walk-off field goal, because the Saints knew how to utilize a player like that. We acquired him. We figured out how to utilize him. It's all about the utilization. Dave, you had some.
It's a very good point to think. What do the 49ers do? They cycle in like 7 running backs. Like, go ahead and name all of the guys that play running back.
And they all do well, right?
They've had a different leading rusher 5 straight years, I believe, and not with guys as talented as Christian McCaffrey. So my point is, it's an upgrade in talent, but on top of that, Kyle Shanahan hopefully has a very good idea of how to limit the wear and tear on this guy and maybe keep him healthier than what we've seen recently.
I said this yesterday, and I will close with this. If you think the Niners gave up too much for Christian McCaffrey, it's like thinking you pay too much for a smartphone. You only do so if you only use a smartphone to make calls and if you only use Christian McCaffrey to play running back. If you know the full potential of your device, you ain't give up too much for him at all.
Is the device charged?
Oh. Christian McCaffrey, he is right now. He charged up in the Bay. Y'all know that's where he played that college ball at.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.